When the first trailer for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man came out, I think it's safe to say that most people weren't really that excited for it. Of course, there was that group of people who were optimistic and hopeful that this new Spider-Man show would be good. But to most people, it just seemed like the same stuff we kept getting. And considering how the last two Spider-Man shows were received, it made sense why people were concerned. But now that the show is actually out, did any of our concerns come true? Well folks, let's dive straight into the video and find out. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, before I actually start talking about the show, I just want to say that I'm not going to be recapping the episode since literally every other YouTuber has already done that. However, there will still be spoilers. Alright, now let's actually get to talking about the show. I might as well start with what I didn't like, which is honestly kind of only two things. And that is that sometimes the animation can look a bit wonky, and sometimes the dialogue can be a bit cringe. There is some other stuff I kind of don't like, but it kind of ties into stuff that I actually do really like, so I'm going to start talking about stuff that I did like about the show now. Let's start off with the characters, which I honestly think is one of the best parts about the show. And as for my favorite character, it's definitely Lonnie Lincoln. He's a very nice guy who's smart and good at sports, but he lives in a rough neighborhood where he's constantly racially profiled and is going through stuff. And it's very clear that this is setting him up to become Tombstone. Well, what there is to set up, they already gave him the name and everything. I'm very intrigued to see how the rest of his story plays out, and I wouldn't even be surprised if he fully became Tombstone by the end of the season. Now, as for Peter himself, well, he's okay. He's not uninteresting or anything, it's just that I find myself caring a lot more for the other characters. However, I will say that they did get Spider-Man really right in this show, and they're showing off what type of hero Spider-Man is very well. And he truly does feel like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in this. Now, even though I did say that the animation can look a bit wonky at times, which is true, during action scenes, the animation is incredible, and it's all amazing to look at. Now, as for the actual story, I'm actually really liking it. Norman being the mentor to Peter works surprisingly well here, and it's really charming to see them interact. Harry's friendship with Peter also feels very natural, which can also be said for the friendship that Peter has with Nico. One of my favorite scenes in the show so far definitely has to be when they're testing out all the new suits, and all of them just end up being complete failures. And it's also a nice way to reference the Identity Crisis arc in the Spider-Man comics. I'm pretty much intrigued in everyone's stories, and I'm excited to see where they all go. Now let's take a moment to talk about the main suits that Spider-Man's wearing in this series. That's right guys, you all won't go a day without hearing me complain about Spider-Man's jammies! The main suit that he's wearing in this show is his homemade suit, which is very unique. Now, I know a lot of people don't like it and would literally burn it to the ground if they ever got their hands on anything remotely close to this. However, I actually quite like it, and think that it's a pretty good twist on the homemade suit. A suit I like much more, however, is his classic suit. This suit is amazing, and the only thing I really don't like about it is the front logo being the back logo. However, as more time has gone on, the more used to it I've gotten, and the less I've disliked it. It's kinda like the whole Spider-Man Beyond suit situation. At first I hated how that spider logo wasn't centered, however, now it's recently become one of my favorite alternate looks for Ben Reilly. However, I can't say all this positive stuff about the Oscorp suit. This is literally the future Foundation suit, but ruined in like 4 ways. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, let's get back on topic. These first 5 episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man definitely surprised me, and I'm very excited to see the story continue. But what are your thoughts on Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Comment down below and talk about what you liked and didn't like about the show. So I guess with all that being said, I'll see you all in the next video, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.